Welcome, folks. It's going to be a really long league, probably, so I'm just going to dive into it. That's why I started early, so we can run through the whole thing. So, we played this deck. Hey, Python, thanks for the 22 months. We played this deck end of last month, earlier this month, I believe. We had just kind of a blue-black, good legacy cards type stuff. Notably, Narset Parter of Veils has been printed since the last time we played this deck, so we got 2 copies of her in the main deck. We also have another 3-mana standard staple, Thief of Sanity, that was very good last time. Variety, just good Ponder, Brainstorm, Thoughtseize, Tourach, Force, just good. Good legacy disruption interaction, so let's dive on into some matches and see how it goes. I mean, the mythic rankings are just like extremely volatile, Sizzle. Even only playing decks I think are good, I regularly flop from, you know, top 100 to percents and back again. Just kind of how it works. Trying to puzzle up, yeah. Yeah, the lack of integration with Twitch is one of Moto's biggest issues. Brattle! Have a sword to go with your shield. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate the support. It wouldn't be a Magic Online morning if Magic Online hadn't encountered a serious error and needed to close. So let's load it back up here. Yay! Z Mystic, thanks for the quarter of a year. I appreciate it. Yeah, sounds fine. If it's a matchup where Fatal Push doesn't have text, we get to Brainstorm it away. You got Force, blue card, a couple of contrips, just everything you want to do. Yeah, the problem with trimming cards like Rolslisk is that you... what's the word that I'm searching for? I'm actually just going to pass on one here, because I don't really know. I don't know what my opponent's playing, so I don't know what this Ponder is like looking for, so I'm going to wait on that. Tundra likely implies that this Fatal Push is not going to be good. I think I'm going to lead on Brainstorm and try and dig for like an Narset here. They're brainstorming in response. Weird. This is a strange sequencing on their part. Because, like, Tundra generally implies not a combo deck. I'm gonna throw back Fatal Push, an Island. Hopefully they're not a Stoneforge Mystic deck. I might regret throwing back the Fatal Push if so. It makes your Kiora's worse. Immortal Sun in the Bant Bow sideboard. Yeah, that might not actually be a terrible idea. The deck could very realistically cast that card. They're forcing my Thoughtseize. Sure. I think I'd rather just wait and like see what their payoff is and force that rather than try and poke into their hand here. They're a Lotus Petal Tundra deck. Wild. They're a Show and Tell deck. Okay, interesting. Okay, that's a really good draw. Omniscience Delta. Okay, so looking for threats at this point. Does Thief of Sanity apply? So, like, Thief is, like, nice, but I have to draw this Wasteland and this Island. I guess they're kind of light on mana. I guess this is probably fine. Because, like, next turn I can go, like, waste 2 plus play Thief. Yeah, my opinions on this new set so far are that the more cards I see, the more I think there probably aren't going to be that many constructed playable cards in it. Alright, so do I take their Ponder, or do I just take their Force? I think I just take the Ponder here. I wouldn't mind finding, like, a... I wouldn't mind finding, like, a Liliana here. I think I want to Ponder before I do anything else. Two the Slaughter is actually not bad here, right? And there's a Misty in here as well. So I'm going to stack these, this, into this, into this. We'll draw the Snapcaster and I can Snap Thoughtseize them. You got me. A relatively quick clock here, and like to the Slaughter means I can take an Emrakul off the table, which is a nice insulation. I would love a Narset. That cuts them off of a lot of draws. It's not Baleful Strix. You have to have a bunch of other things for it to be a snow card, for it to have Death Touch. Alright. So, Last Hope's not very good here. Fatal Push not very good. Extra to the Slaughter, probably fine. Spell Pierce sounds great. I mean, you mean 2 snow permanents? Because it's a snow permanent. So, like, it needs 2 other snow permanents is basically the TLDR. What do I want here? It's probably just, like, Venser. Venser's probably an okay last card. He bounces spells off the stack. This seems fine. I don't think I want any of the things that are on my sideboard. You could, like, maybe make an argument for Surgical Extraction, but I don't think this deck quite has enough discard for that to be relevant here. Wait, it doesn't count itself? It says 3 other? That card's real bad. Vassal of Hoaglandia. Coming in hot was a 12-month resub. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, this hand is not amazing, but it could have almost anything in it. So hopefully one of these brainstorms ends up being a force. Monastery Mentor makes a lot of sense. Probably dead. As always, deck lists are in the queue. Yeah, I don't know that I could beat that, right? Guess I want to leave some fatal pushes in. Yeah, Enter. Legacy or Modern every morning. It's whatever is at the top of the queue. This morning was Legacy. I don't know. Does that mean I want Fatal Push in my deck? I don't know if it means I want Fatal Push in my deck. Maybe it means I want, like, Plague Mare and Marsh Casualties. No, a lot of the cards they're printing are not Modern playable. Which really doesn't surprise me too much, if I'm being honest. John, thanks for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. It's a direct to Modern set, so it's a set that's skipping Standard while being Modern legal. And I think a lot of people incorrectly thought that meant they were going to print a bunch of Modern playable cards, but that's really not what it means. It's Jace. Thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate it. The new Force is fine. The new Force will see play. I'm not even sure actual Force of Will would have shaken up Modern. But Force of Will minus definitely isn't going to shake up Modern. Oh, that's cute. So they're playing white because of Time Raveler. That's fun. They have Mentor as well. It's a neat take. Today, I almost forgot. Today was no changes in all formats day. Is it Omniscience or is it Teferi here? That's true. Not even just giving it Flash, making it uncounterable because they can't cast stuff is nice. It's one of these two easily, right? It's probably just this one. So I think I just take Thief because it lets me start killing them. So I'll go land, Thief, land, no shuffle, play the Underground Sea, pass. I mean, so, Scholar, the problem has never been dying to combo with Jace. The problem with Jace in Modern is that Modern's such a creature-based format. Modern is such a creature-based format that you can't keep Jace on the board because their board has too much crap on it most of the time. The reason why Jace is good in Legacy isn't just because of Force. It's partially because of Force, but it's also good in Legacy because Legacy is just has less creatures in it. Can humans get to... Does humans have 17 blue cards in it? Like, you need close to, like, 20 blue cards to play a spell like that consistently. Close to 20 in an ideal world from a mathematical perspective. Quasicodle, thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub. Welcome back. I appreciate the support. This is the part where I get Spell Pierce or Flusterstorm tier, I'm sure. That's fine, because it means they're not going to be able to cast a spell immediately after this. Alright, so I got a Brainstorm on my side, plus a hit with Thief on their side. Right. Looking for land Liliana here. That's unfortunate that we missed on the land and can't Narset. We're probably dead here. They just have show and tell also. Sure. Yeah, like Flusterstorm's not really a modern playable card either. It's not really a modern playable card either. Schwingy! Thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate it. What's the difference between Vintage, Legacy, and Modern? The difference between Legacy and Vintage is about $10,000. And the difference between Legacy and Modern is about $5,000. So that's the important difference for most people. It seems decent against combo. What combo? It seems good against Dredge. It seems good against Tron. That's basically what it is. Almost modern playable, the set. It's fine against Griselbrand. It's like, it's Spell Pierce against Griselbrand. Sure. You've got a Spell Pierce. Yeah, Spell Pierce. Especially with all these new Planeswalkers being introduced to Modern. Like, Flusterstorm is... Like, I think Flusterstorm is probably worse than Spell Pierce and Legacy right now. Like, one of the changes I made to this deck before we fired up this morning was I cut the Flusterstorm for another Spell Pierce. The reason Flusterstorm was exceptionally sweet in Legacy was because it was a counterspell that got to counter things like Show and Tell that it was difficult to counter back because it had Storm. But Modern doesn't really have spell-based combo decks that are casting... Modern doesn't have spell-based combo decks that are casting counterspells against you. It's just not really how the format works. Double Days, Stoneforge Mystic. I think I'm just taking this Brainstorm. I guess I could take the Stoneforge. I'm gonna take the Stoneforge. Let's just try and choke him on threats. I'll probably jam Last Hope next turn because I don't really care about her getting dazed. I mean, we've played a bunch of the creature style decks like that on stream before, or the planeswalker style decks like that on stream before. They're fine. The biggest thing I would say, if you haven't seen them play or you haven't played with them, the thing that is really surprising is how much incidental life gain you pick up from Interplanar Beacon that gives you a lot of game against aggressive decks that you wouldn't otherwise have. I mean, like, everything you need to know about, like, what people think of Modern. Like, there's a clip from very recently of Melissa Del Toro talking about how she thinks Stoneforge is too good for Modern. So, like, it's a real thing, right? Like, jokes like that about, like, people saying things like that are jokes for, like, they're funny because they're true. They're jokes based in truth. And, like, once upon a time, I used to really care. Because I used to really feel really invested in Modern and, like, care about the types of games that happen in it. But now I just really don't at this point. Just, like, play decks that kill people. And then just, like, move on to Standard when I want to play meaningful games. Hey, Thedorix. Thank you for the 7-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. That's true. That's true. The Jeskai Friends deck is definitely better against mono red aggro than it is against white aggro. No, Geoff, I don't. I think all the decks that are good now are gonna remain good, and there's gonna be, based on what we've seen so far, it's just very little. Maybe there's some big surprise coming. Maybe there's some big surprise coming. So their hand right now is Brainstorm, Daze, and then one card I don't know. So if they miss on a counterspell for Liliana the Veil here, we'll be in a very good spot. And obviously, if they hit one, we're dead. I mean, the standard format's really good. Like, there's a lot of play to a lot of your matchups. So, like, when I say this deck seems to be good against that, I'm not talking like it's Modern, right? It isn't like Tron versus a mid-range deck good. But I'm saying, like, on average, if we played a dozen games, I'd expect the other deck to win, 7 of them or 8 of them. I'm going to expect them to win 8 out of, 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. Yay, Legacy! Yay! It's gonna be, it might be, I started the league early this morning just in case this one went long, but this has been a solid reminder of Legacy does Legacy things. Alright, so Last Hope's not very good here. These are probably fine. Jace's a bounce spell is fine. That game was a great... Actually, what happened there could happen in Modern with the two cards. So that game is a good example of combo decks protecting their combo with with force. Want to trim some of my slower interaction here. I don't think this is a Deluge matchup. My opponent's card with a bunch of counters on it was a Niv Magus Elemental. For people not familiar with all the obscure legacy stuff. That one's actually modern legal. We're gonna get a lot of mileage out of the Horizons command, I think. That one seems like, for those of you watching this on YouTube at home, the Horizons command says, so far this set seems very underwhelming. Modern isn't changing. Enjoy the race cards or play a different format. Temper. People don't want to temper their expectations, Bikes. All aboard the hype train. As good as Liliana is here, I just can't keep a 5-lander. Sam would like another black source, but it's pretty reasonable otherwise. I think 2 of the Slaughter is actually probably pretty okay here. I mean, saying that Modern Horizons doesn't look like it's going to change anything and being excited for the format aren't mutually exclusive. Like, you can be like, yeah, there's some neat cards in here that are going to slot into existing decks. You can be like, these decks probably aren't going to, like, fundamentally change the entirety of the format. But, like, you can still be excited to play with them. You can have realistic expectations. Hey, Admiral, thanks for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yay! Wasteland! Woo! Legacy! I'm just hoping against hope that they understand how terrible this card is from a design perspective and that this one doesn't end up in the new format. Because this card is miserable. Just absolutely rancid miserable. Creates incredibly high variance games of Magic the Gathering. Waste me, daddy. Waste me. Come at me, bro. Watch the bridge strip mine. That would be great. Yikes. I think I have to shuffle those. Maybe I'm just supposed to take the island. I don't know. I just got all these black cards in my hand. You didn't waste me. I wasted me. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody. This is the part where they flusterstorm my Brainstorm. Yep. What a stimulating and interesting game of Magic the Gathering. Imagine being able to play Magic. You know, it really speaks volume of how high variance both the combo decks and the Wasteland decks in Legacy are. Because, like, these cards add so much variance to Legacy that this format has similar amounts of variance to Modern and Standard, even though it has these powerful cantrips in it. No. No, it won't. How many? Flusterstorm is often worse than Spell Pierce in Modern. Often worse than Spell Pierce. Lots of thousands of dollars this experience. I don't even think that's true, Pike. Dispel is much better than Flusterstorm in a lot of situations. All right. And just like that, we're on the ropes of having taken $12 and flushed it down the MTG Online toilet. But Magic the Gathering Online in no way represents online gambling. Competitive money burning. Ain't that the truth? It is morning, zombie. Your money is clogging my toilet. Flush it out with more. It is no changes in all formats day. Nice, J Money, congrats. It is no changes day. The announcement usually goes up sometime between now and 2 hours from now. This is the part where I fetch an Underground Sea, because I only have one land that makes colored mana, and then my opponent Wastelands me, and I die. Alright, well, at least we get to draw another land here. That's nice. Mark a Dark Star. Thanks for cashing in your Prime this way again. I appreciate it. Welcome back. And J Money. It's a shield without a sword. Let's fix that. Thanks for the 13 months. Hearing people complain about Little Teferi in Standard is so wild to me. Play more creatures. Force their Wasteland, right? Alright, so I am gonna force their him here. It lets me pick which of my cards get him to Tourach, basically. Just like, pay 1 life to make it not random discard. David, thanks for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I would love to play my Thief of Sanity. That sounds great. There were 48 copies in two top 8s. That means it was present in 12 of the decks. How badly do I want this Thief of Sanity? I feel like the answer is pretty badly. If I really like fetch and cast Baleful Strix or another removal spell, and I'm just like a sad panda. Casting the second force here is a little aggressive. Fatal Push. Drawing all 4 forces in the fair matchup. Not exactly where you want to be in life. I'm going to go ahead and waste them here to keep them off of a Jace next turn. Pretty far behind at the moment, though. We got the Baleful Strix in play as an eventual blocker if they deploy a creature, but there's a good chance they're just like creatureless Grixis control. Sometimes these have like 1 Gurmag Angler, but Baleful Strix, very unlikely to trade for any kind of value here. Yeah. Gonna keep playing our lands out here, because if we get a 5th land next turn, we can hardcast Force of Will. Corn and Pizza. I assume we're probably a huge dog in a matchup like this, just because they get Pyroblast post-board, and we don't. Really like to draw Liliana the last taupe. Any Planeswalker really would be good, though. Yeah, K-Command generates a lot of 2-for-1s. Here comes the big fish. I mean, the deck I played at the NRG series is great. I've played that deck a ton. If you want my educated and informed opinions on the Elves deck, there's like over a dozen leagues of it on YouTube at this point. I really don't have a lot of good fair cards on my sideboard. I guess To the Slaughter covers their Planeswalkers, which is nice. Spell Pierce is good here for K-Commands and their Planeswalkers. Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to playing this deck again, because, like, last time we played it, it, like, went pretty well. But this league's just been, like, mono us getting destroyed. Is what it is sometimes. Yeah, Venser's probably fine. Maybe this Plague Mare is okay. If this stops lagging, I'm going to put in Plague Mare over this Fatal Push. Just like, it kills their, it kills their Baleful Strixes. Yeah, I want to spend extra time. I'm going to be playing the Bant deck every day this week. Well, I'm going to be playing the Bant deck every day this week, or until I decide I don't want to play it on Saturday. So we'll see. Sunko, thank you for the entire year of support. Have a sword to go with your shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Do I know when I'll have the blue-black zombie deck or something? I have no idea. I don't know. I need to talk to the person some more that's put that in. They sent in the donation without using the form, and I'm just not sure there's anything I can do meaningfully with that archetype. I might just send their money back or ask them to change it. It's a friendly heads up. Even when you're sending bigger donations, you should make sure you use the form, unless it's a deck that I've already played before. The old balance it out. Yeah, I just have so many good cards. I guess I'm gonna take the last hope. Or do I take this? I don't know. This just all seems bad for me. I feel like the opponent's just playing a better version of our deck. Wonder if we'll see a Brainstorm here. I have K-Command, Bolt, Casualties. I'm trying to ditch the Echoing Truth here. I don't know, Sunko. I just... Abyssal Snowstorm, thanks to the 6-month resub. I don't know, a lot of the decks in the format are like creature-based combo decks, right? Like Modern's kind of a creature combo format. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong and a whole bunch of stuff is gonna change. Hard to really know. At a glance, I would be surprised. I would be surprised if things change that much, though. I will say, so the Nerd Rage event I played this past weekend, I'm actually excited to see their full breakdown of the data from their tournament. Because there were so many blue-white control decks in that room, and none of them top 8'd the tournament. There was a Jeskai Saheeli combo deck that top 8'd, but that was about as close as it got. Grishelbrand's not a creature combo deck, Sunko. Grishelbrand also isn't popular. Like, someone else listed Grishelbrand, and I was like, why is Flusterstorm good? And I was like, did Grishelbrand suddenly, like, become the #1 deck in the format? Like, I get that it's annoying, and I get that it, like, wins games quickly, but, like, you hardly, like, show up to a Modern tournament going, we're gonna play against Grishelbrand today. It's a popular archetype that people play in the format. Like, I get it. These cards are, like, good against random fringe stuff. But, like, it's not a deck that, like, you show up and expect people to be playing. Because it's not popular. And, like, people are talking about, like, Tron. Alright, you've got your not Force Will against Tron. They're gonna play their second tower, cast Ulamog, and exile 2 of your lands. You're gonna be sitting there looking like, Oh no, I had Force of Will. How could this have possibly gone so wrong? Who could have foreseen them having a creature I can't counter? Yes, next year I'm gonna tell you that Narset Cannon's not actually that good. Yeah, the new Force of Will is good against Narset Cannon. Congratulations. Guess what? If your deck needs new Force of Will to beat Narset Cannon, you should crumple it up a little ball and throw it in the garbage. Because that deck's real bad. Versus Tron, you can counter lands. I got bad news for you. Tron has way more tutors and redundancies than you do counterspells. Tron is a 48 card magic deck that contains 12 demonic tutors. You don't beat Tron by forcing their tutors. It's just not how it works. Like I get it. The card's gonna be playable against Tron. It's gonna be fine. And like if it's in your 75, you're gonna want it in your deck against Tron. I'm just telling you to temper your expectations, because if you think having this Force of Will in your deck is magically gonna make your Tron matchup go to winnable, it's not. It's not that different than most counterspells against Tron. Yeah, most counterspells are already reasonable against Tron. This card isn't going to be that different than your Rejections and your Disdain. Actually, it's probably much worse than Ceremonious Reduction against Tron. And functionally, this other card's not going to be that much better than, like, Stroke or Negate or any of these other things. Alright, Thief of Sanity's not a bad draw. Let's go ahead and chip in here. Yeah, that's true. That's true too. Any deck that could possibly be playing this not Force of Will, Tron is 1000% boarding in 4th Ragtusk against. So like, what a punt. What a punt. Could have put this into play. Mistakes were made. Oh, you know what? I stacked those cards wrong too. I should have hid this on top of my deck and left an island in my hand, because if they him to Tourach me next turn, I'm going to be real sad. Chat, Christy surprised me over the weekend. I have a microwave and a fridge in my office now, and it's glorious. Don't him to Tourach me. Don't do it. Don't punish me. Don't punish me. Don't punish me. All right, good. Tap more lines. You got it. You got it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Marsh Casualties. Rude. Bacchanation, thanks for the 7-month resubs. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, punish for the Yukihiro mistake. Pretty big there, huh? Last Hope even clears the Brainstorm here, which is great. Yeah, so when they changed with the Prime sub, you have to remember to re-up it to keep the streak going within a very small window. So when they changed so they have streak-based and consecutive, there's a very small window you have to resub in the window of to stay consecutive. Urvik, thank you for the half a year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I mean, we're actually ahead here, right? Like, I've got... Morning, Jervis. There are 6 card types in my bin. Yep. Bye, Felicia. Yep. More creatures that died last hope. Am I supposed to cast this? I think I'm just supposed to cast this. I could, like, wait till next turn and, like, pick something up and then cast it and then bounce it 2 turns later. But I think just, like, putting this into play ASAP is fine. If they kill it, I can roll back the last hope again. Nope. Those ones can stay right there. Let's do this before I spin my Liliana back, because I know there's cards on top of my deck that I want to draw. Let's spin this back and grab a Thief of Sanity. Blue is the color. Thank you for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Think we're in garbage time? Yeah, we're probably solidly into garbage time at this point. Narset cuts off a lot of their live redraws, which is sweet. Aged him. Thanks for making me spend so much money at arena to play all the sweet decks. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate the 5 months. Yeah, all the Twitch days are misaligned, Geoff. That is a Wasteland. It's a Moto exclusive art Wasteland. Oh, I forgot there's promo codes for the Moto lands. I have no idea if they're still legal or not. I think I just let that happen, right? It's like I just left like Liliana the down tick again. Yeah, the Narset Days Undoing deck is in the deck queue. Morning, Hobart. That's so weird, Genesis. Like, why even queue up for best of 3 if you're gonna concede after the first one? Like, there's a best of 1 queue right there. Why waste people's time? Oh, let's stand up for the 3rd game here. Hey, Wigan. So how does this deck win? By attacking with Thief of Sanity. By alting and Jace the Mind Sculptor, or by attacking for 1 point of damages with your Baleful Strix. Creatures as often as the answer. I think the fact that they spoiled Prohibit probably means that actual factual counterspell is not in Modern Horizons. Yep. Modern Horizons. Watered down versions of all the cards you thought you wanted. Why is the deck called Trix? Probably because of Baleful Strix. I don't know. I just left the name as the whoever had submitted it originally. Just three mana Stoneforge Mystic. We call it like Stoneforge Druid or something. Yeah, it definitely really feels like they're like trying to like fix some of Magic's like overpowered design mistakes. Except she's human now. Please no. Please no. Put a mulligan to 5, and I have double Thoughtseize in my opener. Let's do it. Get to punch him in the face twice and then cast a Narset. Sign me up. Yeah, I did see they spoiled a Changeling creature. I wonder if they're going to have some tribal synergies for limited in the set. Brainstorming in response here. Hide some goodies on top of their deck. Gurmag Angler Lightning Bolt. Alright. I will take your fish. So they could reprint Reaper King. Sure. Alright, what'd you had? Him to Tourach, yep. Kind of surprised they didn't hit me last turn. Bolt means I probably don't want to just jam the Narset. I have 2 lands in my hand, so I'll probably be like Brainstorm into Baleful Strix. I'm just going to let this happen. Yep. It's a good pickup. So they have Lightning Bolt as the last card in their hand here. don't think so, Blue. My deck's just got, like, so many good cards in it. And, like, I'd rather, like, save the Brainstorm for later to get better value off of it. Pass back here. As demonstrated by, like, the series of top decks we had this game, right? So, like, they'll be able to bolt this Thief of Sanity through the first time, but, like, my last hope's, like, rolling up to 6 next turn, so she's going to have plenty of roll downs to rebuy it if they don't have a way to exile it. If you want to read about the details of some of my matches and the archetypes I played against at the NRG event, I'd encourage you to pop into the subs Discord, and in hashtag IRL events, there were some updates there. They're bolting Liliana. I guess that makes sense. The Thief is pretty good too. Slayer with the $54 donation. Thank you for the support. Ooh, where's my dashboard? Put this to the hopefully soon to be banned Neo brand. Hope to see Ryder hit and nothing of Grishel brand. Sounds good, Slayer. I appreciate it. Now I'm going to go ahead and Brainstorm. Can set up the top of my deck here a little bit. Hey, look, a Thief of Sanity. Standard players are confused by Force of Negation. Pretty sure you can't cast spells on other players' turns. Oh, it's funny because it's sad. Alright, can Phage connect? Trigger. I would love a Jace the Mind Sculptor. Begin the sculpting of the minds. Begin sculpting the minds. We know they don't have a lightning bolt because they would have lightning bolted my Thief of Sanity. Put lands back, plus the Liliana, pass the turn. Now, even if they have something like Marsh Casualties, they can draw a 5th landing kick. We've got, like, double Planeswalker in play with the Narset coming up. Really? Okay. I am just, like, really surprised that they didn't bolt this Thief. Wow, and they're going for Liliana here instead of Jace. Just 2 lands on top of my deck. All right. 1 walker down. Can you take another hit from this Thief of Sanity? You haven't slept yet. That doesn't sound very good, Nivik. Sleep is important. Sure. So do they kill Strix, or do they make Thief not be able to hit me? Hit them, yep. So we get to Brainstorm, and then we get to Narset past whatever we Brainstorm. Actually, I'm probably just going to fetch those away. This card has been something else. This card seems very legacy playable. Nam Carver, thanks for your 11-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. What's a card? They sacrifice a creature or planeswalker, and then if you have Delirium, they sacrifice one of each. Seems it's been real good. It's like kill your thing, kill your walker. It's a good piece of technology from the Punishing Thieves list we played last week. All right, the slow grind back from 0-2 begins. Cian's fine. It's got a forest and a blue card. It's got a hymn to Tourach. It's got a couple of lands in it. Down here in the 0-1, the 0-2 bracket. No, you're not blind. That deck list is wrong. Thank you. It's fixed now. I added the 2 the slaughters at the last minute last night. I was given the list a final look over. Allow me to sing you the song of my people. I think Force of Negation's a really well-designed card. The problem is that well-designed cards don't see play in formats like Legacy and Modern. Modern's a format, and Legacy are formats where basically Bob Ross has designed these formats. The only things that see play in these formats are all of Magic's happy accidents. It isn't enough to be a well-designed card. A card has to be cracked in half, busted, to be good enough for these formats. And as long as Wizards of the Coast refuses to manage the ban list, that's gonna remain true. All right, yay, Wasteland and Rishadan port, creating fun and interesting games of Magic the Gathering. So this card, for people not familiar, taps one of my lands every turn. So even though this land is in play, I never get to use it for anything that's not an instant. I just sit here and twiddle my thumbs. And I actually drew 3 lands this game, but my opponent played the card Wasteland to destroy one of the 3 lands that I've drawn. Well, I finally drew a cantrip at least. I mean, these cards are great, right? It's like, hoping they don't draw another Porter Wasteland here. The Baleful Strix should hopefully be able to pull us through to land 4 here soon-ish. You got it? It'll be different in Modern with Wasteland, I promise, right? Wasteland is fair and balanced. It's fair and balanced. Balanced. This is the last match of Trix. I'm done. I'm kind of off of Legacy this morning. Wasteland sucks. Urshan Import sucks. Playing against combo decks that force you back sucks. I don't really have anything constructive to play against this. We had a good run with this deck last time. We had a bad run with it this morning. I don't know. I'm gonna take a hiatus from Legacy for a little bit. I'm not gonna take any more leaks for this format. I don't think. Just been kind of miserable the last couple times we played it, and I play Magic to have fun. So we're gonna focus on Modern for the morning MTGO leagues for the next couple times. Let's play some